So the new Aaron Sorkin film, The Trial of the Chicago 7, released on Netflix just a few days ago, and for the most part is receiving well-deserved huge amounts of praise. As a matter of fact, if the Academy Awards actually happen this year, and that's a pretty big if, I think it's fair to say that The Trial of the Chicago 7 would probably be up for several of the big awards. However, while the film is being covered in platitudes as an excellent overall movie, there are a lot of people offering up a healthy dose of criticism for the final scene of the movie. Some even saying that the ending, well, the last scene, stinks. Does it? Does the ending of the film stink? While all film is absolutely subjective and everybody is entitled to whatever opinion they have about the ending of the movie, I am here to tell you why the ending of The Trial of the Chicago 7 is actually awesome. Okay, it should go without saying, but this little editorial is going to contain some major spoilers for the ending of the movie. So if you haven't seen the film yet, you might want to come back after you have. Right. So, the ending of The Trial of the Chicago 7 takes place during the sentencing of the defendants. For whatever reason, Sorkin decided there really wasn't any need for us to see the verdict getting handed down. I suppose he just sort of assumed that all of us knew the way the original trial ended and them being found guilty. Or maybe he just thought that we'd all instantly get it once we realized the scene we arrived on was the sentencing part. You know what? He's probably right. There really wasn't any need narratively for us to waste time on the verdict part. Not to mention, you don't want to end the film on a downer. The heroes being found guilty. Sorkin wanted the audience to walk away from the film with optimism, hope, and maybe a sense of inspiration. Ending on a guilty verdict doesn't do that. So you know what? I'm good with the fact that he skipped that part of the story. Which brings us to the final scene. In the movie, the judge allows Tom Hayden, and only Tom Hayden, played brilliantly by Academy Award winner Eddie Redmayne, to stand and make a statement before the sentence is handed down. The judge communicates that if he keeps it short and remorseful, he'll go a bit easier on the sentencing. However, Tom decides to defiantly use the opportunity to read aloud the names of American soldiers who had already died in the Vietnam War. This act of defiance prompts cheers and applause from many of those in the courtroom, and even inducing the prosecutor, Richard Schultz, played brilliantly by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, to stand to his feet in respect to the fallen. It sounds great, but even some who loved the movie really didn't like the ending. In their editorial on the film's ending, Cinema Blend said the following: "But I also thought the last scene was a bit beneath the movie. I'll actually go a step further. I think the last scene in the movie is bad. It feels forced, the music is sentimental and obvious, it's overly tidy for its subject matter that's much more nuanced and complicated. It has only a passing connection to the facts of what really happened. It feels like something from a lesser movie." Now, Cinema Blend's statement is mostly just a personal point of view, like most movie commentary, but one thing they said is actually factually true. And that is that the ending of Chicago 7 does play a little fast and loose with what actually happened in real life. You see, Tom Hayden never did stand up to read the names of the fallen American soldiers during the sentencing in the real-life trial. That simply didn't happen. Now, it is true that earlier in the trial, defendant David Dillinger, who was played by John Carroll Lynch, and he was great in it too, did get up and started to read the soldiers' names, but he only got through a couple of names before the judge cut him off and ended it. Also, a far cry from Judge Hoffman completely losing control of the courtroom like they did in the movie. But despite all that, I contend that the ending of The Trial of Chicago 7 is absolutely perfect, and damn near had me in tears. And here's why. Throughout the film, Aaron Sorkin repeatedly had to remind us that for him, the main purpose of the events was the American soldiers, some of whom were drafted against their will, who had lost their lives in a conflict that many thought unnecessary. You see, for Sorkin, they were the motivation. They were the victims, and they were the heroes. Sure, we see Davis, played by Alex Sharp, writing down their names on a couple of occasions throughout the film, but all the larger-than-life characters, all the legal drama, and all the in-court theatrics, Sorkin knew that the main point, at least to him, the soldiers, would easily fall out of our minds. Therefore, the ending of the film, while playing a bit loose with the facts admittedly of the actual events, was Sorkin brushing away the distractions, setting aside the theatrics, and reminding us again about why he told the story. It was the men, some of them kids, who had died in a war some didn't even understand or believe in. Those heroes who were lost to us forever. To Sorkin, they were the point, not just unseen characters, the point. And so, the climax of the film needed this easily forgotten point to be made again, forcefully, dramatically, and emotionally. And so when Eddie Redmayne stands to read aloud those names, I, as an audience member, felt the emotional impact of a 2-hour buildup hit me like a ton of bricks. Now, as I said earlier, I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes because Aaron Sorkin was making his point, the point, so wonderfully. Maybe it wasn't what actually happened in real life, but it brought the narrative purpose of the film to fruition in such a way that, frankly, would have been lost had he not done so. So to me, the ending of Chicago 7 was a thing of absolute beauty that would have lost much of its impact had it not ended that way. Some will disagree, and that's the beauty of film, but I'm personally glad Sorkin ended the story this way. Anyway, that will do it for me, guys. What did you think about the trial of the Chicago 7? Was it a perfect ending for you like it was for me? Perhaps it decreased a little bit of your enjoyment like it did for some other people. Either way, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. That will do it for me, friends. My name is John Campea, and until next time, bye-bye.